Hello and welcome to Axie Oasis. I am Wade, and in this video, I am giving a brief update on my breeding farms and how I've been going about breeding given the changes in the AXS system with the recent update the past couple of days, as well as discussing how my first cycle profited and what I am doing now. I'm also going to be going through a hybrid trick to get to zero cost cards. This is something that I saw from Dave versus Axie, and I think it was really intelligent way of getting yourself a zero cost breed by looking at three breed Axies. And yeah, I'm gonna go through and show you which Axies I was using to pull this trick off, what the outcomes were, and what I'm going to be doing next. So I'm really excited to get back and do another update on the breeding farm. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, guys. So if you've been following me, you know that I had this breakdown, this spreadsheet of my first breeding farm. Over here, I have my four Nemo midline Aquas that I decided to breed together. These are the costs. And right here in this grid over here, I spent 2 ETH on all of them. This is the US dollar cost Axie IDs, and I had 8 offspring, and I was able to sell 7 of them. I actually ended up keeping my midliner with Sandal. I played with him a little bit, and really liked him, and I have him out there for pretty high cost. If you guys want to go look at it, kind of an expensive Axie, but I just put it out there. If someone buys it at that price, I'll be really happy. If not, I'm really happy to use them. Um, but yeah, this is just kind of a quick table. Obviously, all these costs were pre 2 AXS per breed. So I was breeding 4 AXS per child, 4 children each. So that was 16 AXS per each pairing. And then yeah, this is just kind of a quick breakdown of what I was able to sell these for. These are all the Axie IDs. You guys can all see that. You want to go audit any of this. I'm just putting this out for transparency's sake. I'm going to be using all of my breeders for scholarship accounts, which I've started to load. So there's no resale value here, but you can just take a quick look. Two ETH to breed, 1.15 to was the cost in SLP and AXS. So I, in total, spent 3.2 ETH on this, but I was able to sell 7 offspring for 2.82 Ethereum. On an ETH basis, this is probably a little lower than break even. I obviously was below, but with the crazy run up in Ethereum prices, I was able to, actually turn a profit on these. So, you know, if you are thinking about building out a breeding farm, this is definitely the type of analysis I would recommend that you do. Obviously, I had in my previous videos, I had hypothetical break evens and realized profits. So, not financial advice, not guaranteeing that you're going to make money breeding, but just showing you what I was able to do. And the way I was thinking about it was I spent 2 Ethereum to basically buy virgin virgins instead of what I needed for my scholarships. And I was able to get all of those Axies that I'm going to need and be using for my scholarship, sell all of the offspring, and actually turn a slight profit. So that was really really good, and I'm obviously really happy about that. Thought it was really funny. The two aquas that I thought about keeping, I had two 97% purities in each of my families, which I could have bred together. Which were these last two that I was holding on to. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and if you notice, I listed them at the exact same time for the exact same prices, basically because they were almost identical. Um, and someone out in the market actually bought both of them together and bred them. So I'm gonna go back and do a breakdown and see what would have happened if I did that. But I just think it was really funny that someone actually picked up the exact two that I was considering breeding and then bought them from me and are breeding them themselves. But yeah, anyway, this is just kind of a quick update on following up and seeing kind of the post mortem after everything's been bred, everything's been sold. I did break even. I have these are all ready to be loaded into scholarship accounts. So yeah, I was really excited about that and just kind of wanted to show you guys, what could potentially happen. Definitely look at the high quality breeders. I did spend a fair amount of money on this. Please go back and see my earlier videos on how I chose them, how I chose how to pair them. Highly recommend that. But if you're going to be breeding and looking to start an ABCD farm, even with my really high quality um, parents, four parents, I genuinely only felt that I had two super superior um, aquas that I could continue on. Um, but just something to think about. But definitely wanted to give you guys an update as to how all this all this shook out. All right, guys, the next thing I want to talk about in this video is how I've been going about breeding with elevated AXS prices. I bought AXS a couple of months ago, or about a month ago, probably for $16 per AXS. Now we're at around 70 at the time of this recording. Breeding costs have been 4 AXS per breed up until the update 2 days ago. So breeding has become significantly more expensive. And one of the ways I thought about getting around this was potentially doing less breeds, especially for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build out a base of Axies that I need to fund my scholarship accounts in a cost effective way. You guys just saw me break down the ABCD farm that worked really well for my Nemo midliners, but now I'm starting to look at the plant tanks and I am going to just kind of walk through a quick example here. So I was looking for this Axie that I have up on the screen. I was basically looking for cactus, Sirius, turnip, and hot butt. I think it's a phenomenal move set. Love my scholars to all have them. I would love playing with this as well. And when I start pulling these up on the market, you can see right here that a 5 breed, a 2 breed, a 3 breed, a 4 breed, all basically going for relatively the same prices. And this 2 breed's a little less expensive. Obviously, for purity standpoint, that makes sense. But what I'm trying to show here is you can get a 95% pure version of this Axie with 3 breeds on it, which means I could still get one more breed off for not that much. If you breed together 2 3 breeds, it's 1,500 SLP, and now it's only 2 AXS. So that's really not that bad. So what I thought about doing was finding 3 breeds, because if I drop this down, if I drop this down to just virgins, what are these virgins going for? 88, 90. Okay, 92. Maybe I could work with that. It's mostly in the eyes, so spot 4 5, spot 5 5. I mean, if I was if I was trying to breed this Axie, I obviously would want this one. Hop up carrot, turnip, pumpkin. Yeah, this is a great. Yeah, this is a great one. Everything in the R2s, pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. So rather than shelling out spot 4 5, spot 5 5 Ethereum for really good breeders, I took the approach of trying to find some really high quality Axies that are 2 or 3 breeds, and I can squeeze one more out of them and potentially get a really good zero cost that I could start start breeding my next cycle with. So I'm going to just walk you through that really quick. So I found this guy, which I really loved. I picked him up for spot 1935. I got him as a 3 breed, so I did breed him one more time, and I'm going to show you the output here. But the reason this guy was a little cheaper was because he's not a 6 for 6 plant. He has 59 health because he has bug eyes, but honestly, if you're going to have any impurity on a plant, this is pretty much the best one to have because my speed's not impacted. So I have Sirius on the mouth, and that means that I'm going to be going at the same speed as any other plant tank. So I don't have the chance of getting restolen. And then just to explain why I like this card set, you have higher damage and good shield with turnip. Everyone's probably heard me talk about how I prefer Bone Sale. It's on a bunch of my builds. It's on my top meta build that I featured in my PvP grind. I think the trade off when you have defense here and having more attack. I mean, I'm losing 20 or 30 shield relative to Pumpkin, but I'm gaining 60 damage. Turnip also has some great utility if you're playing backdoor birds. If you can get enough cards, I would say it's kind of hard to get that 3 card combo, but if you use Turnip with 2 other cards, it'll target a bird, and pretty much any 3 card combo here besides Turnip double serious is gonna kill a bird. So that offers some awesome utility. Hot butt. I think people have heard Indez put out that video on why Carrot is not as good as possible and really featured why hot butt's great. More shield, more attack, and then obviously Cactus is great horn for any plant tank. So I really liked this guy. I found him. He had some really good stats, right? I got hot butt, turnip, and then double pumpkin, 3 cactuses across the board, double serious, and then square teeth. Not terrible. All plant eyes except for my one dominant. But honestly, if those came through, my health's affected, but not my speed. So I just loved the stats here. And yeah, I thought about pairing him with my classic tank, which I featured in my uh, Plant Beast Bird video. And I got this guy when he was a 3 breed as well because I knew I was planning on doing something like this. Um, this guy's already actually been loaded. I've been moving Axies over the past couple of days, loading the scholarship accounts. I just put the video out yesterday explaining the launch. I'll put the link again to the application for anyone who's interested. But yeah, really similar Axie. I do have Pumpkin on the back here, Beach on the horn, but that's pretty similar. Serious hot butt, great, 6 of 6, and then all of the stats are pretty good. I've got 2 non-plant cards in my R2, so really good. So I wanted to just kind of show off, and I got this guy for spot 2145, so not terrible, but when you think about this, I basically bought 2 Axies for the same cost that it would cost me for like one of those pure breeds, right? So basically got 2 Axies for the same cost as a pure breed. And my thought process was, okay, I'm now going to have 2 that I can use for scholarship accounts. And if I breed them together, um, hopefully I get a good virgin that I can start breeding next. Um, Really quickly, just looking at what the overall output would be on these guys. These are the 2 Axies I just highlighted. So, like I said, 85% chance of hot butt. That's great. Carrot, another 9. Potato leaf hot soon, so like 3% chance. Pumpkin, 60. Turnip, 40. Really good. Only a 3% chance of jaguar. And then I have cactus or beech, one of those basically at 50-50 each with a small chance of rosebud. That would be less than ideal. Then 94% serious, all plant eyes, maybe get a bug eye. So looking for a pretty good output. Um, and yeah, here's how it came out. Not great. I got the Jaguar on the back, which was a R2 on one of my Axies. Yeah, that Jaguar from my hot butt tank. That R2 from there. And then did I have anything on here? No. I just had this R2 Jaguar somehow came all the way to the front and messed up my version. But it's okay. I haven't played with this guy yet, but having good high damage, beast damage on a tank is always good. 35 is not terrible shield. I have high shield from Beach and Hot Butt. I don't think this guy is totally unplayable, but obviously not something I'm gonna, continue to keep breeding. So would say that with this 3 breed trick, you do have some risks, just like breeding with anything. Like you can say an R2 can become a dominant and can mess it up. So just be aware of that. But the thought process was there, and I actually did this with a couple of koi aquas, which I'm going to highlight next. All right, guys, one more for you. Looked at some koi aquas that I tried to do this same three breed trick with. Again, this is now in one of my scholarship accounts, but I bought this guy at three breeds for spot 255. Awesome move set for backline koi. Pretty much as good as it gets without a zero cost. Got lamb on the mouth, goldfish on the back, aranda on the horn, koi on the tail. Obviously, the feature of the build. This is great because you have the speed up ability. Goldfish, if you get attacked, you also speed up. Your lamb is probably going to trigger because it's your last Axie, so you're going to be getting attacked. And you get below that 50% health, you trigger the damage bonus. Aranda, higher damage than Shoal Star, more shield. Lamb's a little bit higher shield. So you got some decent shield cards here. You can put up a really good, powerful four-card combo. Go faster. If you do get attacked into, you have Lamb for the final blow. Just a great aqua for a double aqua build, which is what I'm going to be setting up for all my scholars. So loved this guy, spot 255, bought him, and I was just looking at the market. If I plugged in koi, aranda, lamb, goldfish, there's only 104 virgins out there. And I just did a quick scope here, and for the first one of the first couple I see here, this is a 96%. This is pretty good. I might actually snap this guy up. This is a great aqua with only, you have imperfection in the eyes, but with double speed ups, you should be okay. But you're basically looking at spot 3.8 or spot 4.2 to get pure breeds. So pretty expensive. I got this guy for spot 255, and I bought this guy a couple of weeks ago. Honestly, the dollar value equivalent of this is going to be, this actually would be trading even lower in terms of current ETH prices. So, um, yeah, I just thought that this was a really interesting one, and I paired him with this other guy that I found. Also, I bought him at three breeds. I know this is four breeds, not the exact same move set, but the price was pretty good on this one. Spot 2.4 for pretty um, good koi. Again, when I was looking at these, I think the big thing is focusing on having multiple kois. You can find a lot in the market that don't have three across the bottom. Those guys do, but I'm also on the third page here. For me, it was really important to make sure that I was going to be breeding a koi, so got that. And this move set's also really powerful. Piranha having another 120 move, double speed up with koi and goldfish. Also finding him at three breeds. This is still a really good Axie for backliner. Not quite as good because I don't have the Aranda, but at the end of the day, the stats were pretty good. And yeah, I liked this guy as well for good cost. And like I said, spot 2.4 and spot 2.5, that's spot 4.9, which basically the price of one really good virgin. And I needed to be buying Axies. I needed to be breeding out, but basically just didn't want to do as high an upfront cost for this one. And then when I looked at them together, which I didn't put in here, so I just dropped that really quick. This guy, this guy. The breeding stats just looked pretty good. When I looked at that, 97% chance of koi, small chance of cloud. Goldfish is high. Goldfish is high. I had a small chance of tri-feather. Shoal Aranda, basically 50, 40, 10% of clamshell, and then 47%, 37, 38% lamb or piranha, both great. And then a small chance of getting some bird eyes. But just seeing the bird imperfections, if I did get a bird imperfection, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because it's not going to mess with my speed, which is what I'm always worried about with aquas. When it comes down to, my backliner, really want to have got the koi and the goldfish are really important to me in this build just because having double speed ups. So just thought about that. And then when I bred this guy, I actually got a pretty damn good output. So I got a 92% purity output compared to my 83% that I got on on my first guy when I did the three breed trick. And yeah, I am thinking about what to do with him. This is a great backline Axie. I got the lamb to come through on the mouth, koi and goldfish. I got shoal instead of Aranda. Not great, but overall still really good. Got three kois on the bottom. I have a tri-feather in my R1, and I kind of have these messed up eyes, so I didn't really know if it was going to be worth it to breed with him, but I have been thinking about it, and it was just another kind of cheaper way to just get some Axies. So if you are thinking about alternative forms of breeding, other types of things to be going on, I highly recommend you look into this. And the other thing that I didn't really touch on was the resale cost of these guys. So if we just looked at let's take a look at this. These kois might not be the best, but for sale, salmon breed. Yeah, so here's a really good example, right? You have a three breed and a four breed. You've got two three breeds and a four breed basically going for the same cost. Is that going to be the case forever? Purities are pretty similar, right? 93, 96. Yeah, this is a great example. So when you're looking at these Axies, you could squeeze a breed out for 1500 SLP, which is more expensive. But if you do that and you're able to get a cheap zero cost, you could basically just be getting out of it for what you paid. And 1500 SLP at 20 cents, I think that's, what is that, 300? Is that $300? 20 cents, 1500. Yeah, so that's only, it is not cheap, but it's just another way of kind of thinking about it. Are you really willing to pay what was our virgin? Our virgin was going for, so these guys were going for spot 2.2, and then I think our guy was right here, spot 4.2. So 1350, 1350 versus 700. So you are looking at 13. Yeah. I mean, you got got a pretty big buffer there. So the increased spending you're going to have on trying to create that zero breed, maybe it doesn't come out perfect like this one, but just another way to kind of think about breeding, in my opinion, especially given elevated AXS prices. And you can just do some cool things. Find a pair of two or three breeds that a pair of something that has two or three breeds on it, and be able to squeeze out a couple of virgins. And if you get lucky with some good stats, you might be able to, start with less of a, Ethereum investment up front. So yeah, just wanted to highlight that as well. All right, guys, and to end the video, I just wanted to show off a couple of the other things I'm thinking about. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just wanted to show you what else I've been thinking about from the breeding front. I am doing this multi-breed trick a couple more times. I have these two kois that I'm going to do. Rather than pulling everything up, just going to go real quick. So I found this two breed for a relatively good price this morning, spot 185, which I thought was really good for a two breed. 96% purity, and all my R2s are, all my imperfections are in the R2s. I have one bug eye, which could slow me down. That's not great, but I do have dual blade, which I really, really want. If you guys have been following me, I've been trying to get a beast part on an aqua for a while now in my midline breeds, but I think that would be a super high octane build. And the way, and also the good thing about doing this on the backliner with if you have koi is I have koi and goldfish on this guy. So if I was able to breed through and get the dual blade through, I have two moves that could speed me up. So even with a beast part, I think I'll be down to 54 speed, which is slower than most aquas. But if I'm able to get off a goldfish or a koi or both, I'll be going faster um, um, than aquas anyway. And having that beast damage is great if you face any backline reptiles. You can just crush damage, doing 130 damage with that. I don't know what dual blade does on a rep, um, given the class bonus, but yeah, you're just going to be super set there. So I really like this guy, and I'm going to pair him with this guy who's a three breed as well. Got Koi's across there. I found him. This is basically the same guy. Um, all my imperfections are in the R2 except for dual blade in the R1, which I am trying for. So this guy, great Axie, lamb, Miranda goldfish. So once I breed this guy out, this is going to be another awesome one for the breeding farm. Same as this guy, exact same move set. So crossbreeding them is going to be great. I think I'll do this 2 times, get him up to 4, him up to 5. So that's just another pairing I'm going with. I found this pairing as well. A couple of 2 breeds. So I'm going to get 2 breeds out of these guys, build out some more tanks. I definitely need more plants for my scholars, for my breeding farms. So looking at this one, I sacrificed again a little bit. When you're looking at costs here, you always got to find a way to kind of come down. So yeah, I was able to buy this for spot 172 this morning, and this guy I think I got for like spot 24 or something. No, spot 1667. So pretty cheap relative to what like a premium bill would cost, but same move set, serious across everything. And yeah, again, I've been talking about imperfections a ton. So here I have snail shell in the R1, which is my biggest risk, but I have sandal in the R2 there, and I have bone sail in the R2 there, which are awesome back cards. Those are high damage, high shield moves. And even if I get a snail shell, it's not the worst thing to have on a plant tank. Obviously going to try to avoid it, but having 2 hot butts here in my D and R1, 3 cactus across, 3 serious across. My only imperfection is the eyes, which again, yeah, it's not 61. It's not a pure tank because it's not a 66 plant, so I'm not getting the full health, but 2 health for the price. I think it's pretty good. And then this was pretty much the same one: 3 hot butts, 2 pumpkins, 2 cactus, 2 serious. So a lot of good synergy there, versus going out and buying, a pure breed. That's going to be cool. Looking forward to updating you on that one, as well as I got a couple of virgins with pliers and turnip, which I'm super excited to breed out. This guy, I couldn't believe that I found these guys spot 19 this morning. And this guy, who I think just looks awesome, just like yak tank. Spent a little bit more on him, but yeah, the combination here is just great. If you guys have seen any of my videos, you know that I love pliers, high damage, good shield and turn up. Hot butt's great, serious is great. So looking to breed these guys out. Basically, all the imperfections in the R2 are bug eyes. So if I get slowed down, okay, that's not going to kill me. And yeah, basically just kind of the thought process around that was I got a really good chance of pulling turnips through. Hot Soon really isn't that bad a card. People don't talk about it that much, but 80 shield, 60 damage is pretty good. So 280 shield cost cards here. I think this is going to be a um, great tank for any of my scholars as well. So going to breed those out, get some more tanks, do some more with these 2 breeds, and then this 2 and 3 breeds. So just showing you what else is in the hopper. I'm probably going to get to it and hatch start breeding these so I can hatch them out in the next 5 days or so. But yeah, just wanted to give everyone an update as to what I'm thinking and what I've been doing from a breeding standpoint. Given given the market and given the needs that I have. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my breeding update video. Hit on a couple of things, the recap of my Nemo farm, what my profits were. Hopefully that was nice for me to break that down, show you all what could be done. Anyone wants to go out there and audit what those kids look like, I'd love to know what would have happened if I, continued down and did another cycle with them. So was excited to see that. Hopefully you found that interesting. And hopefully you learned a little bit about kind of this three breed trick. Again, tip my cap to Dave versus Axie. He really showed this to me. Didn't see it anywhere else before then. And once I started thinking about that, rather than just putting out so much in Ethereum up front to get good breeders and really high purities, I started thinking about snapping up these, two or three breeds that are, at a fraction of the cost and seeing what the offspring could be like. So just another option out there. I know a lot of people who are following me are looking for breeding advice, so wanted to put that out there, and hopefully you saw kind of what else I'm looking for. Doing this trick with a couple of plant tanks, a couple of koi backliners, a couple of what I think are going to be some awesome like real like meta um, tanks up front as well. So I am using this. I am applying it in my breeding strategies as I think about building stuff out for scholars. But I also want to just reiterate, you can use this to start a breeding farm. You do this 2, 3 breed trick a couple of times, um, and get some virgins, and you sell your breeders for relatively the same cost. We kind of walked through the market and looked, you have a pretty decent break even, when, I think there's kind of an inefficiency there where people are not pricing in the difference between a 3 and a 4 breed. So, if you're able to do that, get some breeders and just another way to like not be out as much Ethereum, I thought that would be really helpful to, show that off to people. But all the same principles apply, looking for really high quality recessives that would be good if they got pulled through. Um, Always think about your risks, always think about what could go wrong when you're breeding. Obviously, my Jaguar on my back, my R2 came through. So, it does happen. So think about it, spend the time, do the research, make sure you understand what you're buying, and yeah, hopefully you learned a little bit here and enjoyed this breeding update. But yeah, I'm Wade Watts, and you all stay classy.